that life is just a long road. Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrows, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark cold place, no more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark cold place, no more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark cold place, no more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. Let the sun of the way shine, 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 shine.
Never lose your faith in the brightness of your eyes. Never let the sorrow bring you down. Put a carry smile in your beautiful face. This way is much easier to go. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up. Live happy your life and never think of giving up. Forget about your problems, enjoy living your life. Open up your heart for love to come inside. Jesus by your side, and with Him close to you, you'll be glad and never become blue. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up. Live happy your life and never think of giving up. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up. Live happy your life
always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace.
Seeds of love as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father. Nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love.
day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start. When the sun turns off the moonlight, we get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise. And on the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, the new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, and the new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
When I go in to pray, I look for my good Jesus. And when I close my eyes, I can feel all His light. I open my heart for all He has to say. He shows me the best way I can enjoy my life. Jesus, Jesus, they never we apart. Please bring all your light to shine inside my heart. Jesus, Jesus, I can be content. I have your endless love and your protecting hand.
Hello everyone, welcome to our public meeting. We thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, I would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notification and find a quiet place during this time if possible. Our meeting will have 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. So would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook and also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube channels. Get to Know Spiritism is a course, a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. Our next class is going to be on January 14, which will be about charity and the Spiritist Center. If you want to join us in this study group, the registration link will be posted in the chat. I'd like to invite you to enjoy this opportunity. And you don't need to be already registered. You can start today. You can start in this next Saturday. And every class is a genuine opportunity for you to learn more and also share comments, participate of the group, and you'll be an amazing experience. And now I'd like to invite our brother Publio Lentus from Toronto, Ontario, to do our opening prayer. Hi, Publio, how are you? Sorry, Publio, are you muted? Oh, great. How are you, Publio?
I'm okay. Thank you, Rodrigo. How are you today?
I'm great, and I'm happier to see you.
I'm very happy to participate tonight with this beautiful group, and I'm very happy to be here to have opportunity to learn a little bit of a gospel according to Spiritism, the gospel of Jesus Christ. So thank you for inviting me to do the initial prayer. So I'd like to ask everybody, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and thinking about Jesus Christ, our Master, our friend. And in this moment, say, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be here. Thank you for the day, for the life that we have. Inspire, Master, the speaker tonight, Larissa, and also all the spirits that are here with us, incarnated and discarnated. That your peace, your love be with us today and forever. So be it.
Thank you, Publio. It was beautiful prayer. Okay. The topic of tonight's meeting is Beneficence, Chapter 13, items 11 to 14. And the Chapter 13 is about do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And you'll be facilitated by our sister Larissa from London. You are welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now we invite our tonight's speaker. Welcome, Larissa.
Hi, Rodrigo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you, Larissa?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here again to talk a little bit more about Spiritism and this important topic, which is beneficence.
Beneficence is a great topic. I wish you all the lucky, and thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen here. Just a moment. So good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here once again to study the Gospel according to Spiritism. And as mentioned by Rod, We will be continuing our studies of the chapter 13, Do Not Let Your Left Hand Know What Your Right Hand is Doing, with items 11 to 14, that is part of the last section in this chapter called The Spirit's Instruction, and has the title of Beneficence. And I'd like to start today's reflection remembering the words of Jesus that we have as base of this chapter. So he says to us, "So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, and as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." And this passage is from Matthew chapter 6, verse 2 to 4. So beneficence is the practice of doing good towards others. It is an active goodness, kindness, or charity. And as we've been studying in this chapter, it needs to be done without ostentation and without waiting for any reward or recognition. The items that we will study today will bring us message from different spirits about beneficence and charity to help us understand a little bit more about a little bit more on this topic, which is one of the pillars from Jesus' teachings. So the first message that we will see today is from Adolf, Bishop of Argel, and it was received in Bordeaux, 1861. So in the words of the Spirit Adolf, he says that the act of beneficence, my friends, will give you in this world the purest and sweetest delight, the joys of the heart, which neither remorse nor indifference can perturb. It is a sentiment which makes people look at others as they would look at themselves, and gladly take off their warm clothes in order to clothe a fellow creature in need. So the act of beneficence, as it says in the message, can give us the joy of the heart, because it requires from us compassion. And when we look at those who are in need with the eyes of someone that is seeing themselves or a loved one, we are more open to feel compassion and to do an act of kindness to alleviate their suffering. It is important to also note that he tells us that neither remorse nor indifference will be able to disturb us when we are practicing good actions towards people. And in that sense, I would like to share this short video that will demonstrate a little bit what we are talking about.
Hi, Larissa. Sorry, just
Sorry.
you were
Okay.
muted. Perfect.
So this video was just a short story that shows us the act of charity and how it can help um, in the most simple way, right? So that child was just open to see the one in need, and he decided to give the quote that was done by his mother in order to alleviate their suffering. So the Spirit Adolf continues his message saying, "You must understand the obligations that you owe to your brothers and sisters. Go then to meet misfortune. Go and offer help. Go, my beloved ones, remembering these words of our Savior. When you clothe any of these little ones, remember it is me that you clothe." So we know that we are immortal spirits and that we are temporarily living in this material experience to evolve and to improve. When we think that we are all children of God and that humanity is our family, so we are part of this universal family, it is easier for us to understand the obligations that we have to help those who cross our life. Who knows if that person who is on the streets looking for the act of kindness of someone was not a father, a mother, or a son of yours in another life? And he's there looking for you to prove your heart and see if you are putting into practice the beneficence and charity as taught by Jesus. The Spirit in the message urges us to go and meet misfortune, meaning that we need to be open every day to do our best with what we have in order to help one another. And he continues, charity, that sublime word which synthesizes all the virtues. It is you who will conduct all all people of the world towards happiness. It is only by the act of charity that infinite delights can be created for each one in the future. It is within charity that you must seek peace of heart, contentment of the soul, and the remedy for life's afflictions. So, what a strong message! Charity is the remedy for all our life's afflictions. Whenever we are putting ourselves available to genuinely help others, we will find peace in our heart, contentment in our life, and our afflictions will be minimized. And he finishes his message with an important advice. When you are on the point of accusing God, first cast your eyes down and you will see all the miseries waiting to be alleviated. the poor children without families, the old without even a friendly hand to close their eyes when death claims them. How much good there is waiting to be done. Oh, do not complain. On the contrary, offer thanks to God and lavish handfuls of sympathy, understanding, and money on all who, deprived of worldly possessions, languish in suffering and isolation. So, how many of us look at our own struggles and want to question God? Why we are suffering so much? When we look to ourselves and to our own pain, it is common to feel like we are victims of the worst struggles. But this friendly spirit comes to tell us that before we start complaining about our life experience, we need to look around us and see how many other brothers and sisters are in situations even more distressing than ours. We don't need to look much for examples of misfortunes happening in the world nowadays. And that's why we still can affirm that there are a lot of good to be done. Now we are going to move on to the message from other friendly spirits. And this one is from Saint Vincent de Paul, and it was received in Paris, 1858. And he starts his message saying to us, to be good and charitable, that is the key to heaven, which you hold in your hands. The entirety of eternal happiness is contained in this maxim: love one another. The soul cannot elevate itself to the high spiritual realms except by devotion to one's fellow creature. The soul will not find happiness and consolation except in charitable impulse. So, beneficence and charity, as it says here, is the key that we have, each one of us have in our hands to help one another, to bring us together, and to put into practice this the law of love that was taught by Jesus. When we do a genuine act of goodness or charity, we are not only beneficiating others, but we also are beneficiating ourselves, because it is only through those acts that we will be able to evolve and that we will be able to find happiness and consolation. And he continues, be good and sustain your brothers and sisters. Root out that horrible ulcer known as selfishness. In fulfilling this duty, the pathway to eternal happiness should open for you. Besides, who amongst you has not yet felt their heartbeat with jubilation and inner joy at the narration of an act of wonderful dedication or some truly charitable work? Good examples are not lacking. What is rare is simply goodwill. So very often we see the Spirit saying to us that most of the time what is lacking on us is simply the goodwill to start. We might think that we don't have the perfect conditions to be charitable. Maybe we think that we don't have money enough, or we don't have the time to do it. So we end up creating a lot of excuses to not put into practice these teachings. And the Spirit is saying that we only need goodwill. If we have goodwill, we will find the means to offer help. So charity is the fundamental virtue upon which all earthly virtues are based. Without this virtue, there would be no others. without charity, there would be no hope of a better life, no interest in a moral guideline. Without charity, there is no faith, because faith is nothing more than pure luminosity, which makes a charitable soul become brilliant with light. What a beautiful way to explain us how important charity is. So charity is love in action. It is the virtue that all the other virtues are based. We also can say that charity is God's love manifested through human hands. Whenever we do a charitable act, we are being instruments of God to alleviate suffering and bringing hope to the ones that are struggling the most in this existence. And he finished his message with this important invite. Therefore, fellow beings of good and strong willpower, unite yourselves so that you may continue the work of expanding the diffusion of charity. You will find your reward in the very exercise of this virtue. And there are no bounds as to the spiritual happiness which may be felt even in the present life. So be united and love one another according to the teachings of Christ. We all can start putting into practice the act of beneficence or charity into our lives, in our daily lives. Any action done from the heart with simplicity and goodwill matters and can make the difference. And now we will be hearing from another spirit, which is called Carita, that will bring us different ways that we can practice the charity. So this message was received in Lyon, 1861. So there he says that there are various ways of practicing charity, which many of you confuse with the giving of alms. However, there is considerable difference between the two. Alms, my friends, are useful sometimes because they can bring alleviation to those who are poor. But this is almost always humiliating, not only for the giver, but also for the receiver. On the other hand, charity joins the benefactor to the one who is receiving the benefit, because it can be disguised in so many ways. So when we think about material charity, we are meaning more than just giving alms. It is all about the way that you are doing. It's about the intentions that you are putting on it. Are you really acting with charity in a way that the person receiving is feeling respected, loved, and cared for? Or are you doing charitable work just to fulfill your pride or ego, just to show some kind of superiority? Are you really doing whatever you can do with what you have to help people around you? It can be your family, it can be your community, or even at work. So material charity, as the Spirit says, in the sense of the alms, is important, but also is considered the easiest one to be done, because we are giving a resource, right? It can be money, it can be food, it can be clothes. It's important, but it's the easiest one. There is another type of charity that is called moral charity, and this one is more challenging. So the spirits continue saying that it's possible to be charitable even to friends and relations, simply by being indulgent to one another, by mutually forgiving all weaknesses and by taking care not to hurt anyone's self-respect. So moral charity is to support one another. And the good news is that it is free. You don't need to have any material possession for it. You are practicing moral charity if you are indulgent with others' mistake, if you are forgiving their faults, or if you are maintaining good relationships in order to not hurt anyone. A smile, an attentive listening, or even a silent prayer can be an act of charity. And he finished the message with a direct instructions to us Spiritists. You who are Spiritists can be charitable in the way you behave towards others who think differently than you do, or by inducing those who are less enlightened to believe without shocking them, without attacking their own convictions. You can also attract them lovingly to our meetings, so they may listen to us and so that we may know how to discover a way into their hearts. So he's being very clear here. As Spiritists, we should be also keeping this in mind whenever we are with others that think differently or have different beliefs than us, forcing our point of view or shocking them with our own beliefs is totally against to what the law of love taught us. So being charitable is already the powerful message that we should use to attract those who are in need or less enlightened. And we are heading to the end of the talk. And I would like to finish with this beautiful message from the Spirit Emmanuel psychographic by the Brazilian medium Francisco Xavier that can be found in the book named Money. So the name of the message is Beneficence and Charity. And Emmanuel tells us, beneficence relieves the ordeal. Charity extinguishes evil. Beneficence aids, charity solves. You may distribute handfuls of gold that are poured from your bag. However, in doing so, if you forget to add the light of your love in the form of respect and affection before others' wounds, then you will have neglected to include the understanding that will help you reconcile with yourself. And he continues saying, a living example of compassion is better than a sentence adorned with exaltation of virtue, which is merely pronounced by the mouth. The gesture of brotherhood is more beautiful than the comforting alms likely to be spread just for you with the mechanical effort of an arm. This is because we all need inner renovation to access the treasures of spirit. By doing good, using the momentum of our own souls, it let us value the word through which we will spread goodness, thereby edifying a life in us and with us, with others and us, by always doing our very best. So may we never forget to add the light of our love to any kind of beneficence or charity that we may perform from now on. May we be living example of compassion instead of just words coming from our mouth. And may we never forget that when we help others, we are also helping ourselves. So I would like to thank you for your time, and I'm here ready for the questions or comments.
Hi, Larissa. What a great talk today. It's amazing.
This topic
Congratulations.
is really rewarding, right?
Yeah, I was listening to you and I started thinking, we know Jesus said happiness isn't of this world,
Hmm.
but the act of beneficence give us a real taste of happiness, right?
Yes, that's correct. And the Spirit says that it is a way that we will feel happiness in this present life.
And also reminds me because Chico Xavier from Brazil, who developed a great charity work, and in his biography, they say he starts with 6 buns, like just
Wow.
6 pieces of bread, and then develop all that work. Like it means if you will start doing beneficence action, that can change the world, right?
Yes, that's for sure. And they always say, right? Like you need to start with what you have. If it's just a prayer, start with a prayer. If it's just like this example that you gave, it's just 6 bumps, start with the 6 bumps,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Okay, we have a couple questions here. Okay, let's see. Okay. Is material charity the only way to help others?
No, actually, like we saw in the end of the presentation, the last message, there are various ways of practicing charity. And we know as material charity and moral charity, right? So that's why some people, when think about charity, they always think, oh, well, maybe I don't have like the resource to do it. But we forget that being able to listen to someone, to not judge, or to even like I said, right, making a prayer or even a smile, that can make difference in other people's life, and it's definitely free, so we all can start putting to practice these teachings, right?
Exactly. And I really like when you said both charities are important. There is no question about it. But the moral one is a little bit challenging for all of us, right?
Yes. And I feel it's because we are always in such kind of like an automatic pilot in our lives. So we sometimes forget to stop thinking about ourselves and just looking to the around us to see who is in need more than us, right?
Yeah. Okay, we have one more question here from Polio Santos. Is there a specific religion or group to practice charity?
No, that's the good part, right? Like everyone, there is no specific group or religion. Um, we know that as Spiritists, this is one thing that we focus a lot, but we can see charity work even in groups that is not connected to any religion, right?
Yes. And yeah, as a Christians, we know that Jesus also said how important it is to help others, right? And he emphasized when you help the minor of my brothers, you are helping myself. This is how
Yes,
that important, right?
that's it.
Okay, thank you very much for your talk. It was amazing, and we are very fascinated by your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Okay, we will now move through our spiritual treatment and for the preparation for that. PASS is the transfusion of spiritual energy in the goal of assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with health positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions and remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the passes, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We'll now make a prayer in preparation for the passes, which will be our closing prayer as well. So let's close our eyes and elevate our thoughts to the Most High, ever living God. We thank you with gratitude and love under the light of the beneficence from this amazing presentation of tonight. We ask you to give us the inspiration to have more joy in giving than receiving, to have more happiness in serving, in being served. We ask your presence in our home, in our work, bringing the powerful energy that can transform us inside out, giving us the opportunity to practice your teachings, trying to help us being a better person, more patient, more calm, with more focus on doing good, trying to make us act with love and gratitude. So we ask your presence in this moment and during the week with us in our daily activities, in the hospitals, in prison, helping all of us who are in need of changing and make us do good and transform ourselves. So we ask your presence today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada in Continental Concafos Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from Spiritism Canada and Spiritist Group Path of Light. Thank you and have a wonderful night.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. end. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all the dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith